What's up, losers? Kidding. Sorry about not uploading on the other channel. I made a video on the other channel to direct people back here, but after reading some of the comments yesterday, I was kind of inspired a little bit to try again. There was some great advice, I think, about the videos themselves, and I talked about that on the video on the other channel. But yeah, I just want to say shout out to the comments, and let's beat this freaking algorithm together, okay? If you watch this video, you're a lurker, I understand. But the comments, I think they help, and holy shit, I've never been more motivated to make more videos. Really love the shit that I'm reading here, the great stuff. I understand this is niche content for hardcore CSGO nerds like us, but I'm still down to make it. I just want to make sure it's stuff that people want to watch without like absolutely destroying my channel. And yeah, so yeah, the comments here are awesome. Comment here from Fear Me Mortals. Simple versus Heroic T-side Overpass. Actually a CT side too. Actually the whole map. Look at this game, guys. I mean, Simple's just been, you know what I mean? 1.95 rating here on the map. And he was a two-way player, okay? He Kawhi'd the map. Overpass, 124 ADR overall. 159 CT side, T side, 107 T side, okay? So the question I want to ask today, the title yesterday, Res destroys Heroic but still lost. That's the title we came to after mulling over what the perfect YouTube titles would be, as opposed to making them so super serious like the other ones were just full of information or whatever. The question of the day today, the YouTube title of the day, is how is s1mple so consistent? How can one man be so consistent? He is not the player that I would say looks the sharpest mechanically, besides his incredible reflexes, the movement, stuff like crosshair placement, stuff like that. I mean, technically speaking, like not the most like incredible player, but what does he do well? In my opinion, what he does well is he has the perfect priorities, okay? He has the most hours in the game. Number two, he is the best at positioning, and number three, he also has incredible reflexes. These three things that are in the 0.1% outweigh all of these other things that other players have, but don't beat him out but are unable to beat him in those categories, which I think take precedence over everything else. I mean, look, there's no one else like, there's no one else like him. So let's take a look and try to see if we can answer the question, how can one man be so consistent? How is s1mple so consistent? I might stick around for the whole demo just because, holy hell, he had such a great map overall. And it was only a 16-6 map. We haven't really watched a whole lot of Overpass. And I like this crosshair a lot. I've been using a similar crosshair. Shout out to Banny for the Yakinder crosshair. It's like a tiny little version of this. But I like this like 0.5 dot crosshair. So it's a stairs push into death. True combo. On that pistol round. Want to play connector. Normal scene so far. Anti-eco, he's going to have the scout out towards long A. He's going to end up being a rotator. As we can see, Heroic are entering into the B site. Mac-10s are rushing. No fake whatsoever. We can see he's kind of waiting on the bomb, waiting to see if there's like multiple up, like there's 4 people, no bomb, you can start hauling ass. But they've taken a long time to get into the site. Watch Heroic lose this round. So now s1mple's perched up in a perfect spot to hold left side pillar. That's all shut down. And at this point, s1mple's already worried about the fast rotate back, but we'd say that s1mple has a 3-second rotate from spawn CT to heaven in B. Literally so quick, and that's common on 2 parts of Overpass, which makes this map incredibly interesting. The fact that in stairs, on CT side, if you hold down stairs, you're turning a 4-second rotation down the stairs to B site, to short B, into like a 14-second rotation all the way through spawn. That's how critical stairs is on CT side to try to hold it. But even without that, as we can see for the CTs themselves, they can rotate up and down at very low cost to their positioning, especially for someone like s1mple who's going to be opping. Heaven is a great spot to be in, even though it's a rotator position. Of course, easily smoked out. I'll try to reaggress, but the last thing you want is to get tagged by a scout, and the pistols can basically one-shot everything, but they're doing fine in spite of that. However, a fantastic shot from s1mple here into round 2. The wall bangs are no good. See him just jiggle swinging out with the scout. One thing I think is important about s1mple as well is the fact that he shoots his shot. You know, he uses a lot of ammo to just shoot through walls, see if he can get any damage in. He doesn't wait for the perfect opportunity and then strike. He's just always looking for small chances and taking the shots whenever he can. And that's huge, because how many kills do you see in professional matches happen in ridiculous ways? How do you expect those kills to happen if you don't take ridiculous shots? Sometimes you don't see it. Unconfirmed damage, as I call it. The wallbang damage, the HE damage. But it can have an impact on the outcome of the round. It does all the time. Short B pressure, s1mple boosting up. Just recycling the scout. Another strong spot to be in, because he can't smoke this. So the XQ comes in, he can sit up here and shoot over. And sometimes there's a sight smoke that lands right in front of where his crosshair is. That can block his vision. But apart from that, he'll probably be able to get at least like 1 free shot, 2 free shots off. Heroic really taking their time for this one, and they're ending, it looks like, over on the A site. See how they're holding someone on short just to make sure that no one rotates. And it's working out pretty damn well. Na'Vi biting on this all the way down to the last few seconds. And a well-called round here for Heroic, as they avoid even having to fight s1mple. The most beautiful of outcomes. Nice round from Nico. Nice! Looking for the 5-man boost in spawn. That's what he's spending this round on. We'll notice, and we saw from s1mple's demo on Nuke, that everybody just rotates around him. Like, I swear to God, he doesn't even have to calm. The amount of times that he'll move into a spot and Flamey will just run out of there, like he's not supposed to look him directly in the eyes. It's unreal. Like, the team really is just built around him almost completely. And we can see him kind of just fighting for info. Pretty normal position so far. Just trying to get there into an opportunity where, you know, it's not too late to peek that. And he's done some good damage already this round. This can peek long, but you can see he's getting not nervous, but he's kind of foaming at the mouth for info, right? Jumping over everything. Again, we see the spams coming out, watching for smoke lurks, jump spotting over the dice, anything that he can grab. And there's like 1 second timing, the window opens up, and he strikes instantly. Spam is for the plant. And just take a look at how many shots s1mple has taken in a round. He's done the most here. And stayed alive of a bank. And what risk did he really take this round? He peeked left side bathrooms. He played from bank. He took 1 peek on long on a fading smoke where he had the advantage. He didn't really even have to take any risks. I think certainly a lot of the magic of s1mple is being in the right place at the right time. The way he rotates, it's zero hesitation gameplay. And this kind of intuitive playstyle is very common amongst extremely talented players. Players that have trouble explaining why they themselves make their decisions, because they don't take time to consciously process them. Instead, they just have such great intuitions They just go with how they feel, and that actually cuts down on timings. Some players have the ability to both synthesize that information as well as like synthesize it consciously, as well as, you know, play off intuitions. But most of the time, most of the time, a lot of the time, with players that are that good, they can't really tell you how they do it. As a quick shot, but an even better trade. Absolutely worthwhile. Already a great half here for Heroic. Great start so far. And op rip from s1mple's hands. No op rebuy. Here's another reason s1mple frags hard. He's a world-class rifler as well. As far as I'm concerned. Totally comfortable with any gun. Instant move back to A. Nothing special about the rotation so far, like very kind of pragmatic movements into very normal spots, right? He's not like Fur pushing into Fountain. He's not really taking a fast peek on A. He's never peeked Monster. He's not pushed off short. Okay. Now, really anticipatory of the long push. Smoke comes out on his behalf. Somehow it allows Boomich to get a kill. Don't know if they realize that name tag means there's more, or if they're going to assume it's a fake, but they've got enough players to not have to move. Okay, let's see how s1mple plays off the smoke. Actually wants to just go wide for the fight. Doesn't want to let them get to truck control. And Tess has had the protocol to push up there. Holy, he goes through. I guess time remaining means that he can make a brave play like that while they're focusing on getting the bomb down. And coming through the smoke is actually sometimes even better, because in a really tense moment where there's open choke points and you have to plant, if you're the other team, what you're going to think is, hold this, I'm planting. And you don't have enough pairs of eyes to be able to hold the smoke push as well. And that'll be the last place you look if there's a completely open choke point. Look, he plays support too. A great flash, even better shot. See, another value of those wall bangs, you can see not everyone would take that opportunity to hit the shot. But he does just kind of go for it. USP has overgrowth is top tier. Aiming perfectly on that. Like, just the angle clearing there. He doesn't even go for the super tight peek from the opper. He goes for the guy crossing. You know, it's funny because s1mple can hit the guy crossing through the dust 2 double doors. But he'll aim at the door for the consistent damage. He'll aim through the door for the consistent damage. And sometimes get the headshot. It's definitely one of the lesser played picks on this map now. Just peeking into mid dry like that. Well, not dry, but from the lower stairs, as opposed to the Guardian pick, like the garbage bin boost and balloons. And back to this rotator position in B. Eyes forward on the correct site once again. Hesitation is you just make sure there's no funny business afoot. And now moving into CT, should be offered up another shot. Doesn't hit it. It's too hard. But yeah, there's no executes coming in that have really pushed him off. He's had open line of sight on a lot of these kills, and Nico is fragging his heart out right now. But still, Navi get back to 4-4. Okay. Interesting. He just kind of like moved up. Maybe he was waiting to hear some grenades. I'm not sure. That's a late aggression towards mid after the op's already fallen back. And s1mple once again at this pick. Okay. See if he knocks him down like bowling pins. That bank is good. Solid HE damage off of that. Not afraid to jump spot, not afraid to spam. And off that info, it tells Na'Vi a lot. They even get the re-aggression off and the stairs flanked on this round. Low buy, of course, so. Probably won't be too exciting for Heroic. You know, once again, Nico, I mean, in the kill matrix, Nico has s1mple's number. He's got his whole WhatsApp phone number memorized. There's the safer version of the boost off a worse spawn. Flashes a tell to go backwards, and we can see, you know, s1mple's already, I mean, they lost the first, you know, Heroic are up 4-1 in this, but he's just kind of quietly got up to 11 kills, playing his positions relatively safely, relatively carefully, and this isn't his play style all the time on all maps. But this is also kind of not the kind of game that would get clipped that you talk about. It's unfortunately when, you know, he's bailing his team out the most that you have to, that you define s1mple's playstyle from. But he's no art. And that is a quickie. What's the look this time? Actually out towards long as Heroic are trying their best to avoid him completely, especially on the opening picks. Smart, of course. s1mple alive often, even in the rounds they lose in the late round. Either lasts to die or doesn't die. Of course, he's not the only person to be scared of on this team. Lots of fragging potential on Na'Vi, even if it doesn't always show up. And now it's a total retake situation with one in bank. Flash goes over to support the peak, maybe. And s1mple, will he spam? Oh, he's just waiting. Doesn't want to give up his position. Cadian's waiting for that rotation in. And Electronic from the bank will trade it out. Okay. Unsuccessful retake. Interesting to see there. He made the decision to not, like, specifically not make noise, leaving open the option to be able to walk in. When you'd think he would normally spam if he was going to wait for his teammates to come through. He kind of sensed an opening. Can't help but think whoever's on the other side of this wall is dead. Unless, of course, they run away. Look how carefully he's just julienning the angle, chopping it up extremely fine. Hilarious. Tessus, poor guy, has to line up grenades and get killed time and time again. He says, "Why didn't you teach me a safer lineup, Hunden? Why you bully me, Hunden?" Plays so much support, he even supports himself with that flash. So it's pretty quiet. Man, these Danes, they really play to win. It's not always the most fun to watch, but boy, Do they know how to win? Tech timeout. Oh, this is actually when so Bit, forget what his name is. He gets subbed in because Electronic had a internet issue, and then he gets subbed in. I think s1mple actually tweeted out like, thanks for the entries and thanks for helping out for a few rounds while Electronic came back. But I think this new player actually ended up playing well. Sorry, I should know who he is. Can't remember his exact name. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip for now. Just see. Console, any update on Electronic? Probably the best course of action. There it is, Bit. Huge presence towards mid. s1mple not with a spawn for it. Holding passively for the short B peak. You can see Bit putting up the numbers. And the rounds when they need them. Molly's just for the plant, of course. Idea is to take the remaining time off of the smoke to put the T's in an awkward position. And we can see again, he doesn't really make decisions without playing for information. Even off of these repeaks, I mean, he's trying his best to just constantly find the opening, as small as it can be. Just find the opening as many times as possible. Get info, and because this game is all about info, it's like, ultimately, if you knew where everybody was on the map, you couldn't lose. And so, when s1mple plays, you can see that his thinking is in line with that kind of mantra, that you're basically trying to, as the one player in the team, look for as much info as possible without dying. But because it's that info that matters more than anything else, that can influence your idea for positioning. Always look for it. Always fight for it. Always jump spot. Always wallbang. Info, info, info. All the time. And of course, a great shot. At the top of the 15th. No, it's s1mple. The game doesn't make sense if you're guessing. But you have to be able to believe in your aim. I think that's a really important part of all of this. Is that if you don't believe in your aim 100%, you can't have s1mple playstyle. Oh my god. Nico got rocked on that one. That's crazy. I didn't even see the... I didn't even see his crosshair go up, really. Real up-twos flick here by s1mple. And the bomb will get stucked. I think it's clear sailing here for Navi, so why don't we just go ahead and watch the rest of it. I'm down. This man bought a deagle. I mean, a P2 would do the job, but would it strike fear into the enemy's hearts like a deagle would? I don't think so. Not jumping on the Prince Stream hype bandwagon is s1mple. Oh, sorry, this is Boomich's. What am I talking about? This is the second round. No, it's not. Wait, yes it is. Heroic won the pistol. Sorry, I'm insane. And that's one frag for him. Look, I mean, his sensitivity is kind of high. You know what I mean? Like his angle clearing and stuff. It's not always gonna be perfect. It's gonna be a little bit more shaky than someone on a super low Nico type, 1.5 sensitivity. But goddamn, does he make it work? The high right click and that infamous sidewalk ledge has blocked so many nades in its time. I can't even count how many nades, how many smoke lineups have been ruined because of this little lip of a sidewalk. I mean, this round is open and closed because of this simple deagle. Oh my god, yeah, right, he hits that. Yeah, that's when it's really DM. Once I went into simple stream at the beginning of his stream, and he was like, he did like 10 minutes of P250 DM, and I could have sworn, I was like, this guy, he's going to have a bad day today. He was not hitting a single thing. And then he went into FPL, played his first round in FPL, and got like an ace on the pistol. I was like, man. What's the point? It's like, what do you can't learn, you know what I mean? You watch him, you can't learn. Nothing makes sense. I think the other thing, of course, is that, you know, you don't become this great by being like a nervous, you know what I mean? Like you can't operate at this level and have like high cortisol levels at the same time. You've got to have the clutch gene, you know. You've got to be the person who wants the ball with 3 seconds on the clock. You've got to be the guy who doesn't care or enjoys the fact that tens of thousands of fans are screaming at you. And that's just not many people. That's just not many people in esports, in sports. Thousands of fans around the world in Zoom calls, all cheering your name. Do we watch the farm? Okay, let's watch the farm. Go hunt, my boy. No ecos for you, s1mple. That was toxic. Molotov here for the op peak. Flash for that same peak, and he'll try to post up in position to take advantage of anybody who does decide to stick around. I mean, this, like the nade combo would allude to the fact that you're, you know, not going to even need to do this boost. So if you're a CT and you find a way to call this out, then the boost can catch you off if you decide to stick around. But the tactic doesn't have any value, really. They lose some time off the clock. They find out no one's there, but they waste some grenades in the process. CTs have peeled back many, many seconds ago. And we'll see how he takes position on long. Surely he doesn't just peek right out unless he's not anticipating an op. Wow. Yeah, he's there to take a risk. And you see the jump spot coming in first. Trying to get anything he can get. And he is quite far away from long, so of course how angles work is if you're peeking into the bank there, and you're farther back than the person who's in bank looking at you from the corner, from the wall, that's stopping you from seeing your opponent. So if you're the person that's farther back from that corner wall where s1mple's aiming next to you, you have the advantage in the fight. Sorry, I didn't explain that very well. Tessus gets murked, and it's a one-on-one now. One-on-one, my man. Okay. Smoke to make it seem like he'd fall back, and he's going to hear the reload. This is just a brand new position for him. That's easy. No chance. Dawn's like, I hope he does rotate around through bathrooms after hearing that smoke. Would really love to see. I mean, s1mple's not even getting pushed to a level where he needs to even do more in this game so far. He's just playing really well, but that would have been cool to see how that round plays out if like Stone doesn't have to reload and then make a read about what the smoke means. Quick peek, quick shot. Bomb on his back. T's on his back too. And oh my god, yeah, right. He hits the no scope, dude. Dead. What on earth? They forgot about him completely. Tessus just offering himself up over and over again. Simple food. Oh, Cadian, he wants to go home. He got on his bike and left. But there were some bullies at the end of the park. They didn't leave. Let him leave. Such easy frags. Gotta be honest here. You know, s1mple's not getting flashed a whole lot. I mean, it was a great performance. Don't get me wrong. But we're not, I mean, we're not seeing the extremely best defense being put up. You watch that, you think you could be heroic too. And that's also probably not true. But, yeah, he really, I mean, he made it look so simple. A lot of the shots that he hit in the beginning were easy. At the end, they got a little bit harder. Some crazy reflex shots that he hit. But positioning-wise, I think there's a lot to say about s1mple's positioning. But in that game, like, we didn't even need to really see it. He didn't get pushed to his limit, which is a shame. But, hey, it's up to the other team to make him do that. Nico went ham. He had 160 ADR on the half. He had a fantastic T-side. That's crazy. Wow, much better T-side. Yeah, overall, though, I think this was probably a pretty good map overall for 3 maps for s1mple. And his performances have been pretty fantastic. And yeah, I mean, I think we need more. Honestly, I think based on this, we need to see even more. But what we learned is that, like, he's not always a highlight opper that you know of. That's always just jumping out there to look for kills. Sometimes he is just playing a very standard brand of CS, and that's helping him put up consistent numbers. Art finds a way to be somewhat consistent while also extremely aggressive. But yeah, Art is also 1 in a million in his own player. s1mple has the ability to be explosive, but you know, Art's not the #1 player in the world. There is a difference, and I think it does make sense to look at the decision s1mple makes in whole, not just those highlight rounds that we saw in that demo as well, to be able to understand why it is that he overall is able to put, like, until he got to about 20 kills, I would say, like, nothing he did was all that flashy, right? He picked on the side of bathrooms. He rotated in a B. He held from heaven. He rotated to truck. Like, he made one push through smoke when there was no time to defuse. There wasn't that much there that would say, like, wow, this is a non-standard play. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, he threw an op through a window on Dust 2 in a 1v1. Like, he does that. He just kind of doesn't need to do that and won't do that if he doesn't need to. So, yeah, but damn, man. Look at this graph. It's pretty unreal compared to other people we look at. One person I want to look at next, man, is Mr. Rops. One of the most consistent pros, especially considering the team he plays on is not very good. He is actually doing so well, just kind of always carrying, and pretty sick, to be honest. Want to look at this at some point. That was a cool one. So we try to explore, dive deeper into the mind of s1mple as to what makes s1mple so consistent. What's the next demo, guys? If you stuck around this long to answer that question, I want to know. Hit me back in the comments. If you have anything you want to say in the comments, you want to make fun of my hair, okay? You want to say I have a big schnauzer, okay? Anything you want to say, leave it in the comments. I welcome it, okay? I encourage it. All right, come on, pull up. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another Coach Lau.